If we have a clairvoyant, we can see the clairvoyant see, and we can do always the right thing. We don't. So we have to guess, which is called wisdom. They are not the great wisdom of emptiness, but the wisdom. That wisdom has to be based on certain understanding. That certain understanding, what you base is time, opportunity, enemies, friends, and common people. Their way of doing, their way of functioning. So try to understand that, and on that basis, and you think what you do, what you should do. Now, this is general advice. General advice. Time, what people normally do. What respected people do. What unrespected people do. And then you want it to be respected group, or you want it to be no respect, unrespected group. Whether that right timing or wrong timing. The earlier lamas, their biographies, their way of doing is somewhere in 16th century, 17th century, 18th century. Time has changed. Time has changed. Now what do we do? So that's why time, people's thinking. Earlier, well, the male chauvinist period, the people abusing women may not be that shocking. Many do, many did. Today, the most shocking place is people abusing, looking down on the woman, dress, all that. This is how time changed. In 1800s, looking down on African American and abusing them, it is part of certain society functions, and it was acceptable to certain societies. And during the time of dictators, the higher ups abuse the lower ones, make them use almost like a slave, and that is acceptable, and that is way of functioning. Today, it is not, because we are more intelligent, we are more better, we understand people better. People better. We understand people better. That is Dharma, from Dharma it comes. From Dharma, they teach me all the time, taught me all the time. If I say something to somebody, a little harsh word, calling people in the Tibetan language, "Kya," instead of saying, "Hey," you say "Kya." Kya means sort of way, sort of through, down, where you don't have the "Hey you," sort of, even worse than "Hey you." So "Kya," and I used to say that. In the particularly young Lama, incarnate Lama, people respect you, so you abuse people without knowing you are abusing, thinking you are superior. So you do that. So I used to call people "Kya." So my teachers used to call me "Kya." Sometimes, so how do you feel? So you're embarrassed, So a teacher calling you "Kya," so you don't like it. but you can't say I don't like it. Don't like it. So whatever you are using the abusive thing to the other, so you make yourself the other person. See how you like it. You know what I mean? So you make yourself the other person. So you don't stay in your place. You stay in the other's place. How you feel it. And this particularly goes between yourself and your companion, spouse, children, in-laws, families. Always think about it. Whatever you don't like it, the other person won't like it. Whatever you appreciate, other people appreciate. And that is how you have to analyze, think, and decision make how you want to function. So that becomes society acceptable. That becomes respectable. This particular single word, the word what we talk today, how important for our life it is. So when you can do this, then you are called intelligent. And also you have to think, when you behave that way, what your enemy is going to think. When you behave that way, your friends are going to think. And if you behave that way, I don't mean behave, but you function that way, the people who neither your friend nor your enemy, they couldn't careless people, what will they think? And that are the basis of being intelligent way of functioning. Simi chakunjuna tamejang theoretically memawati cares. All kinds of ideas will come in your mind. All kinds of ideas, thoughts will come. Every thought, whatever you have, rushing it out, talking without any door or without any footsteps, talking and sharing people, and it's considered little silly people. Silly. And not necessarily wise. Silly, little stupid, little naive. You have all ideas, think about it. Don't be rushed to pour out. Pour out. Who does immediately not rush it out? You know, Tibetans, parents give advice to all Tibet. Today I don't know whether Uyela does that to his kids or not. I don't know. You know what we say? You don't have to say, this is my intestine, this is my heart, this is my lung, this is my chest. The people know. You know. So you don't have to say it. And that's one thing. They always advise that. They will also advise, this is a little woman abusing language. The old Tibet, nobody does today. Old Tibet, they say, if you have little knowledge and you can't keep your mouth shut, you have to say, bah, 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 all the time. And they say, sometimes they say the nuns do that. That is a woman abusing language. That's the old way of saying. Nobody says today. Shouldn't say today. But they give example. If a little sparrow, the bird, if they eat 7 grains in their stomach, then they will go chee 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 all the time. If they are bigger bird and they get half the bird feed, doesn't even say a word. So that is the example they give. So anything your knowledge, information, is for your use, is not for you to speak out and share it. Then speaking out is not bad. Insisting, being stubborn on top of that is further more naive. Being very stubborn. Unless you are absolutely sure yours is right, then you can be stubborn to a certain extent, and then the people don't accept, let them be. Let them be and let them learn it. And that's how you balance between true, sincere people and acceptable in the society. Between Dharma and the society functioning, that is how you balance. And this will tell you a lot of balancing and the behavior. And that there is become true Dharma. You don't have negativities. It doesn't harm people. Yet you become very respectable and great. The next one word I'm going to read it. Nyingne dala tatu metowa. Chemara zumji so chungwins. Nyingne dala tatu metowa. People create this enemy. Number one should never create enemy. You know why? Because you don't need enemy. Even one enemy is too much. You don't need it. You should never create enemy. But enemy will be there. Even you don't create, they become enemy. People misunderstand you. People take it the other way around. Political system makes you. Economic system makes you. And there's a zillion different ways of creating enemy in our life rather than creating good friends. Really. So they're there. So then number one, you do not pick up people who you dislike it as an enemy. But then you realize it's becoming enemy. Even then, you don't show that you realize you are enemy. It's sort of very nicely zumji suas. Nyingne dala tato metrowa zumji sua. Kariza. Anyway, now I can see it. Nyingne dala tato metrowa zumji sua. Jiji chungwins. I missed one word in between. But still, what it is, not showing your enemy, showing temper and displeasure, but sort of with a nice little gesture of even smile. And that person is called wise, witty. Even you knew so and so is your enemy, not show them that your knowing is his enemy, is the material way of functioning. It doesn't have any dharma downfall, because you may think you're not telling the truth, but you're not lying. You're not telling the truth because you didn't lie. So it's not that bad. Some people mind will go there. That is how you balance. What you need is you make yourself intelligent, you make yourself respectable, you make yourself the society's example. Along with that, you make yourself happy, virtuous, and helpful to all. This is the goal. That's how you